Good evening. I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
Theodore Roosevelt was once the police commissioner here in New York City, but that was before he was president. Today, Donald Trump, the sitting president, put himself in charge of the police force in Washington, D.C.
The president said, despite evidence to the contrary, that crime in the nation's capital is out of control. It has actually been declining since the pandemic.
The president's takeover of law enforcement in Washington will include armed federal agents manning posts near the Metropolitan Police.
And hundreds of National Guard troops are getting ready to hit the streets. Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. And Scott, this is a big turnaround from just a few months ago.
It sure is, Maurice. 3 months ago, a top Trump administration official announced crime was down significantly in Washington, D.C. An early success for the administration, he said. Yet today, the president has announced a crime emergency and militarized the nation's capital. In the nation's capital, home to nearly 700,000 people, violent crime dropped 26% from last year. But today, President Trump took charge of the nearly 4,000-person police department, claiming Washington, D.C. is in crisis.
Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency.
He defended his controversial decision by painting a dystopian picture of a community overrun by marauding packs of criminals. And he cited the assault of a young administration staffer earlier this summer.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people.
But the latest data shows homicides are down 12% from last year, while robberies declined by 28%. Mayor Muriel Bowser defended D.C.'s image.
While this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised.
Federal agents from the FBI and ATF are already posted on D.C. streets, raising concerns for some, including Tom Warwick, a former Homeland Security official.
Taking FBI agents off of organized crime cases, terrorism and other kinds of cases to do street patrols, that's not the best use of a highly trained FBI agent.
You think this could be a distraction?
It really looks as though a lot of this is performance.
The 800 National Guard troops are expected to deploy later this week, and many have little training or experience policing U.S. streets.
The best case scenario is what happened in Los Angeles, which is these 800 people stand around for several weeks doing essentially nothing, and then eventually most of them go home.
Scott, the president mentioned he has ideas about what to do with the homeless in Washington. What are those?
At times, John, he referred to Washington, D.C. as a slum, and then said homeless people need to be moved away from the Capitol. Gave no detail of what that looks like or how that happens. We do know both the federal government and the D.C. government regularly clear encampments for homeless people. It's a painstaking, lengthy, and sensitive process. Hard to know, Maurice and John, what that looks like if it's sped up.
And you talked about the National Guard troops we saw in L.A. back in June. What makes this situation different, Scott?
This is one of a kind, Maurice. The Washington, D.C. district is not a state. The president can unilaterally call up the Guard without permission. In Los Angeles, he used the Guard to protect federal buildings. Here, they can be used throughout the District of Columbia. Just a different unicorn situation in the nation's capital.
Scott MacFarlane in Washington. Thank you, Scott.